Hello folks, Mike Cayley7 here, coming to you on November 3rd, 2019. I'm headed up to Domino's Pizza. I made an order on my phone, and the lady called me. She says, "We only have one driver, it's going to be 2 hours." Like, I'm on my way. So, maybe I'll pay less because I'm getting it myself. I don't know how that works. I think I will wait for all three of these cars to come. Temperature is 58 degrees. It's a beautiful day. Not even wearing any kind of thermal gloves or nothing. I just have on my regular Dainese X-Strike gloves. I do have on my FXRG liner from my Harley gear, but I've got on my Klim jacket. I usually don't wear that leather jacket until it gets really cold. I'm talking like the 30s. It's a beautiful jacket, but it's kind of hot. So today I would like to talk to you about my impressions of the new Indian and the way I see Harley-Davidson now. As you may be aware, I was a Harley rider for 13 years. I went from a 2003 Softail Standard to a 2005 Road King Classic to a 2014 Ultra Limited. Ultra, sorry. 2014 Ultra, then a 2017 Ultra Limited. And now I'm on this. Much to the chagrin of many of my viewers. And so a lot of people have been asking me about what I think of the new Indian coming out. I can't remember what it's called. You guys pretty much know what I'm referring to, though. It's the one that looks like the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Sean Smoke did a video about how he can't believe that Harley-Davidson riders are hating on the new Indian. He says Harley-Davidson riders don't hate on other brands. And I'm thinking, have you been in the world? Come on, Sean. Harley-Davidson riders have hated on other brands just like everybody else has hated on other brands. They won't wave at you if you're riding one of these. Not all of them, but not all of them won't wave at you, but quite a few of them won't. I never had a non-Harley rider not wave at me that I can recall. Anyway, so this new Indian, a lot of people are hating on it, saying it's a copy of the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. And I'm not hating on the Indian, I'm just stating fact. It looks very much like the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. That fixed fairing looks very, very much the same as the Harley. Sure, the saddlebags look different, got that Indian weirdness to them. And for those of you who ride Indians and are probably going to get butthurt about my calling it a weird bag, I'm just not into the styling on the Indians. Never have been. The swoopiness of them just doesn't do anything for me. And I only saw one negative video about Indians. It was this guy who had one, and he rode it every day in all the weather, and the paint went teats up on him, and he was pissed about it. I don't know anything else about Indians in terms of their quality. I can't speak to that. All I can say is, my impression of the new Indian is it looks like a Harley-Davidson Road Glide, and I've heard that it's super fast. It's got all the torques and all the horsepowers, as Sean Smoke said. And so, you know, if that pleases you, go for it. It's American made. It's made by Polaris. That's American. That's up in Minnesota. Sure, you're going to find, you know, Taiwanese parts in it, whatever else. Harley-Davidson too. But the profits go to American ownership. How about that? Whereas this is made in Japan by Japanese people using Japanese stuff, I guess. Probably Chinese. You can't really find anything that's 100% anything anymore. The New World Order is here. Come get your RFID chip. Over my dead body. Alright, so, yeah, the Indian, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think it really inspires me at all. And I don't think that it could handle the Mega Twisties as well as this bike can. But I haven't seen any videos comparing the two. A Honda Goldwing Tour versus the new Indian, I can't remember what it's called. But I just get the impression that this bike has more sportiness to it. Somebody had asked me how I could possibly think that this is a sport touring bike. Look at the videos that are out there. Look at the magazines that came out in 2018. They talked about this as more of a sport touring motorcycle and less of a grand touring motorcycle. And a lot of people lamented that fact. And then a lot of the videos compare this to the BMW K1600. So, I'm saying sport touring. It may not be as sporty as some bikes, but it definitely is kind of nudging that way. I've never ridden a BMW K1600, and I don't think I ever will. Simply because if I'm going on a cross-country trip, I want to be able to have dealerships that can fix my bike in short order. And I've heard horror stories about people having to go very far and wait very long. I just don't want to have that happen. And, reliability issues over the past couple of decades. People have been complaining about them, so I'm going to stay away from BMW for the time being. This is perfectly fine. Got no problem with it. Alright, now my impressions of Harley-Davidson. It's a wonderful machine. I have absolutely no problem with it. It's beautiful. You cannot beat the paint job on a Harley. I don't know about Indian, but I know the paint job on a Harley is amazing. At least the ones that I've had and the ones I've seen. The quality of the plastics or the fiberglass on those things is just par excellence. This thing here, it just feels cheap. This plastic sucks. I'm sure that it's part for cost saving and also part for utility or whatever, I don't know. It's lightweight, blah, blah, blah. But I just wish it had that feel of quality to it that the Harleys have on their plastics. And there's plenty of plastics on Harleys now. But they're easy to get to, of course, because the whole engine thing is open to the world, but whatever. This bike is very cheap to maintain, and it doesn't need a whole lot of maintenance. Whereas my Harley, my Milwaukee 8 Harley, needed a shit ton of maintenance. It took a long time to get that bike back from the dealership, and cost me a lot of money. So, yuck. Anyway, my first little bit on this is about the bike itself being awesome. Harley-Davidsons have great torque. They have decent power in terms of their horsepower. They can get up and go pretty good. So there's really not a problem with that. And as I said, the styling is amazing. And then you've got the fact that it's American-made mostly. Up to something like 48% American-made. Which is fine. That's a little added bonus. The heritage of it, the history of it. Like all that. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the image and the culture of Harley-Davidson. But for now, I have to get off the bike to get some pizza. This is Mike Kelly 7. I'll talk to you soon.